and they have, what the fuck is it? I can't find it. Garano Kirk here. Description. And there's like the star system for general, defending, possession, passing, attacking.
Yeah.
Do you use that or care for that? The decisive score and the all-round score.
Well, they both play a part, you know. So it's kind of like, if you think about like football.
The decisive. Sorry, can I just try and explain to what I think it is?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Aye, we went live about a minute ago. I said we're just going to roll live
shit,
now.
I'm making a dick out of myself.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No.
Right. So, because what my understanding of it is, the decisive score, does it start at 35 or start at like 30?
If they start the match, yeah, it starts at 35, and if they come off as a sub, it starts at 20 or 25. And then each action will move them up or down that ranking.
But they're big actions. So for like attackers, that's goals and assists, and for defenders, that's like goal line clearances and stuff, like big things.
Yeah, penalty saves.
It's the all-around score, the smaller actions.
Yeah, passing, winning tackles, successful crosses, all that stuff.
Right.
And then some of the stats, and this is something that I keep needing to seek clarity on, but they have, like, when they first revamped it to being the kind of system it's at now, there was a system called double and double triple and triple and all that kind of thing. And it was like stacking your stats. So if someone did like 8 good passes and 8 good tackles and 8 headers or something like that, then the fact that they had such a good all-round performance, it would all multiply off each other in a kind of weird way. So they kind of simplified that and took it out. It is still in the current matrix. When you read it in terms of on the website and whatever, it only kind of appears in the defensive section. So I have yet to, and it's something that whenever I talk about it, I think, oh fuck, I've been meaning to get to the bottom of that. It might be across all stats like it used to be, but if you were to examine it right now, it looks like it only exists in defense at the moment for things like tackles and clearances, that kind of thing.
Because like whenever I look at stats of players, all I use normally is I go on to like their SoRare data scores, their SO5 scores, and just kind of have a sconce, you know, give it the eyeball, see how many big nice green numbers there are, see how many sort of average ones are, and if there's a fuck ton of reds and did not plays, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Right? But like I don't really look into it much more than that, and I don't use the on-site kind of statistics.
So I'm just clicking into a player there now, right? I'm clicking at Jack Hendry just because I've got him there, and it should be easy. It's not even signed me in yet. But so see now when you go on it, I suppose you've probably seen this yourself. Oh, it's not even on it. I'll just put in. I'll put in them 3 strikes since I bought him today, right? Them 3 strikes. So when you look at their graph and you see all the scores that they fit, see if you hover over it, it'll give you a bit more detail. So it'll tell you that the score was 72.5 on game week 108. The decisive score was 35 and the all-round score was 37.5, right? So what you then want to look for is the big scores, right? So if you look at, I'm looking at Denzel Dumfries, right? He's got a 100 score there. His decisive score on that day is 80 and his all-round score is 36.4. So in reality, that day he scored 116, but it's just because the cap for you can only score 100. That's the max, if you know what I mean. So there's big scores and there's big scores. So when I see that, I know that on that day he must have had 2 assists and a goal, or he must have had something mental. They won 3-0. So they had a clean sheet bonus. But I can see on pretty much most of these games with a big score. When I look at him, that his all-round score on this day actually was pretty poor, but he has quite a lot of those even kind of balance spreads. So then you know that as long as they are, even if they're not involved in an assist or a goal or whatever, you're going to get between 30 and 40 out of them. And as long as that's your kind of worst case scenario for most players, and they've got that potential to get the decisive score to bounce it up. So to kind of answer your question, yeah, I do look at it because like if you're always getting high scores and your all-round score is teeny tiny, they'll be probably strikers are a good example for that. You'll notice a lot of strikers have got, if they don't score, their scores are really red and low. But some strikers, if they don't get involved in a goal or something, they'll still shoot 40 or 50, and that's because they're actually involved in the match more. So it is definitely important, both sides of it.
Connie, here's one for you. This is a deeper SoRare question. I don't know if you wanted to get into this or if you want to leave this for later. But I'm going to throw it at you, right? I was thinking about this when I was at the toilet today. This is where I do most of my thinking. Right? You know, with the addition of this many teams at once, what is it, like 18 teams?
Yeah, something like that. 18
teams been added at once. That's 18 starting goalkeepers that are now in that challenger bracket. That is probably another few that are rotating and stuff. Never mind the defenders, midfielders, and forwards, etc. Like, well, this is amazing for the platform. It's a huge move, and I'm all for it, and it adds more variety. Is that something, I understand the whole debate is can their onboarding outweigh the rate at which they issue new cards? But like, let's say for example, all the Bodart holders out there, and the whoever else is here, my two keepers, I have him and the Dan, I think, are my two that I normally go to.
Yep.
Thanks to Ross FI if he's watching. Like their value should surely decrease on the back of this.
Now, I've got two answers to that because I get asked that question a lot. The first one is the more players that are available, in my opinion, the more honest the market becomes. So a really good goalkeeper, All Black, you could have every goalkeeper in the world on it right now today, and All Black will still be the same price, if not more expensive, because All Black is still the best goalkeeper, or top 3 or whatever. So in terms of that kind of thing, it doesn't bother me, because some players, and there's a lot of players that should live in the bargain basement, and there's nothing wrong with them, at all, because what you also want as well is you want the barrier to entry to be low. So see if there is a massive clutch of players that are very easy to get your hands on, play with, get a bit of luck out of, and then do a bit of a flip on in and out of form, then I think that helps, people get started, because that's been the main hurdle for a lot of people in the conversations I have, and I'm sure the same as the ones you probably have in private as well with folk, it's just, oh, fucking hell, man, it's 300 quid for a goalkeeper, and, whatever else. Yeah. You can't do anything about the price of Ethereum, but if you've got more cards available, then you're kind of mitigating for that. Good players are always going to be worth money, regardless of how many options you have. And the second thing, what was the second thing? Oh, Jesus, I can't remember. But I get asked that thing a lot. There's two things I mainly say. That was the first one, and I can't remember what the second one was now. But yeah,
no, it's a worry of mine, not necessarily a big worry, but it's a worry of mine in terms of, like, it's almost like who's going to be the first at the door. If they announce another league with another 18 teams or whatever, the full league of wherever, and I'm sitting there and like, geez, should I be holding my Bodart that I could probably get like half a coin or something for now?
Yeah,
maybe less, maybe more, in around that. Should I be selling him and biding my time on the challenger front until, as Ross is saying in the comments, what's happened to the MLS and J League keepers? It's almost that like I understand, and thankfully my gallery is more or less premium players. I go for really, really good players. I'd rather that than a load of dross.
Yep, I'm the same.
I like having the Vlasic's and the Vanikins and the Pies and the Tannies and whatever, but I'm just afraid of like the likes of my Bodart and Adan, that an announcement like this and subsequent ones, should I be sort of looking at the exit door? But I don't know. That's just me thinking.
Well, for me, the Bodart needs to have competition for his price, because he's an under 23 goalkeeper, plays every week and has a track record of scores. So fair enough, there's another 18 goalkeepers, but I've looked at the Eredivisie goalkeepers, and a lot of them are over 30 or over 26. I don't think there's any under 23 goalkeepers. I think there's one, if that. There's not many. So the Bodart doesn't really have any his situation hasn't really changed. Like some of the guys are saying in the comment section, I was here when MLS and J League came on. The difference we've got now with the Eredivise is it goes into Challenger, which was already quite there's a decent headcount in that division every week in terms of eligible players and actual SoRare managers. So now you've just got a lot more options and a lot more variables, and I think it really swings the door open for different people to win, because having Vlasic, Dorsch, Crepin, all these guys, all the expensive challenger players, you can almost guarantee maybe 3 weeks out of 4 you'll pull something you want, or 2 out of 4. But now with an extra 18 clubs worth of players, you've now got a lot more variance to happen. And I think some guys, if you've picked up some Eredivisie players at a snip of a price, don't know if there's much of that going on today or yesterday, but if you ever manage it, then it opens another door, I think, doesn't it?
It's all very interesting, but look, I'm trying to derail your show before you even get going, Quinny.
That's all right. I'm trying to work out. I'm messing about with screens and stuff. So I've been on kind of the SoRare data page there, and so my last game week, guys, we'll just get a wee bit of stream stuff done. We're only going to be snagging the 0.2 ETH. We've not really done too great. A few of the gambles paid off, a few of them didn't. You can kind of see on the screen exactly what's went for us and what's went against us and whatnot. As well, very, very close and unlucky. The game week we've got coming up is a massive one. We've got this special weekly one, which means we've now got 2 different divisions eligible for guaranteed ETH for hitting a threshold. So it's a global D4, same rules as always, and then the special weekly is mirroring that. Now the terms for the special weekly, I'm just going to try and grab it up on screen for us, is that you can pick any day you want, but you need to have 1 Eredivisie player in the squad. That's all you need. Okay, so it's encouraging people to go for it. The little caveat on top of that, actually, can I do all 3? Does this work? I was messing about with stuff. That'll be my bad. Let's do this.
And cough while they can't hear it.
Well, there we go. Right, okay, that should be fine now, I think. Right. So yeah, I've went for the big hitters. I've went for All Black, Dumfries, SoRare, Ramsey, and Sané. I think that's pretty much my best D4 lineups I could get out. Trippier's ban has come back into play, which is a bummer. I thought he was going to escape it, but I don't know if you've seen this, John. But part of the thing that the FA were trying to appeal against their own thing, because when they decreed, "Oh, you're going to face this ban," they said your ban will finish on the 28th of February, and that's like part of the thing. So even if they string this appeal process out past the 28th of February, it goes void. That's it served. Because they put it as a mandatory date. So
he's nailed in my champ champ lineup. So he's just solid, like.
Nice magic.
So he's a big miss. Thankfully, I have a couple of Danilos here doing the job. But
did you get a couple of them?
I have two, yeah.
Lovely.
I just love having them for the All-Star as well. I got them early. I'm an absolute degenerate, Quinny. I bought 2 Vlasic's.
I remember you got the 2.
Being cheeky, like 2 in the morning, going to bed, and you see one up for auction, you think I can steal that cheap, and then you end up getting caught in the bidding war. But I think it's really handy because I do like hitting both. I like being able to have a really strong All-Star team without the detriment to the other 2. But
yeah, All-Star for me kind of goes up and down in my priorities depending on what mood I'm in. But the All-Star, it's like I say every time I'm talking to new users, All-Star is where the biggest prizes are won. So don't feel that it's a lesser league because it's not like a fancy region or whatever. You know, for me, the All-Star is like, it's the Champions League. It's the best one. If you win that, it's the biggest prizes on offer in terms of ETH and cards and all the rest of it. But I think people want to chase the champion Europe because you might get the Neymar and you might get the Mbappe,
Well, that's it.
And in the champion, you might end up with Sun Jun Ho and you're not interested in him,
Exactly. I have a quick question for anyone watching or yourself, Penny. Why was Onuachu taken off? Was it injury? Because he came off first half, which is very unusual after scoring a goal.
There'll definitely be something in the comment section that will know the answer to that.
If anyone knows, because I did give it a quick Twitter search and couldn't find anything, but... Anyway,
for my global all-star D4, it's pretty much a challenger lineup. Welland Reuter, Jack Hendry, Jao Mario. Then I've put Weston McKennie and I've put him captain, and then Ika Ugbo up front. So it's quite strong. I expect that'll get the ETH quite easily. And I'm just, with champion players like Jao Mario and Ika Ugbo, you're kind of swinging for the fences on they get involved in goals, because if they don't, they're going to get about 40 points flat, and it's not really going to push you that far up the table. But they're quite solid, and I say that's the base standard. The best D4 team, I think, has been into my special weekly. Have you got champion teams out this week, John?
I'll have one, and I'll have a special weekly. I'm going to throw away my under 20. I don't have enough keepers. I have a bunch of keepers that don't fucking play. So I will throw a lineup in. I think Strakosh is under 23s, isn't he? But I don't think he'll get a game.
He's back for a while.
But I'll go special weekly. I'm going to go Adan. I picked up Jacob Rasmussen. I think is he Vitesse, is it? Or it is Vitesse, isn't it? He plays every game week defender. He's actually under 23. He's not for long, but that's why I picked him up. I'm actually, because I kind of want to go strong here, and I think these could do really well, but I kind of do want to save some of the big guns for either the All-Star or the champion. But I'm going to go with Napoli, lads. I'm going to go with Zielinski, who's actually a bit of a monster. He's the first card I bought. So really? The first card I got, I was chatting to you and Ross, I think, on Zoom, and I bid on him. I got him for like 0.03 or something back in an auction, literally first day I joined. But he's been doing solid, like. He's a solid player.
I love him. Do you know, it's funny, right? Me and Ross were talking about him as well, because I was eyeing him up as a super rare. This must have been about November time or something, and he was like 0.4 ETH, and that's when ETH was like maybe 300 quid, 400 quid at the time.
Yeah.
And I'd made a wee list when I joined, and when I got the Trippier super rare, the next player I put on the list after Trippier was Zielinski, and I thought if I can get him mega cheap, I think he'll because I didn't even expect Trippier to be as good as he has been. The matrix change along the way has been a fortunate, windfall for me. But I just thought it'd be a solid start every week, do okay kind of player. And and I ended up not getting the Zielinski, and every time he does something, I'm always messaging Ross because I was talking to him about it at the time. And I was just like, the last couple of game weeks, what's his score's been like 60s and goals and assists, and he's been scoring and shooting really solid. Well.
But I'm going to stick him in. Bank on the Napoli, get the big result against, is it Verona or someone they're playing?
Yep.
And I'll throw in Irving Lozano. Hope he gets the start.
Have you got Lozano as well?
Yeah.
Good pick. Roscoe's got one.
I think I actually robbed Hybe, Football Index Scotland. I think in my first bundle kind of trade with another manager, I got Ruben Diaz, Irving Lozano, and who was it? Another monster. I got Grimaldo off him, I think, and I got someone else, and I paid him next to fucking nothing. Like, he was sorting me out because it just signed up, and he still messages me about the Diaz. Bundle. So I just need to pick my fifth. I don't know who my fifth will be, and I don't know. I'll have a look here.
What's the Dutch player you're putting in?
The Dutch player, Jacob Rasmussen.
Oh, Rasmussen, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he'll get me in the door there. I'm gonna check if Grimaldo's fit and firing. I might throw him in as the last. He's been playing well. He wasn't in the squad against Braga. He's an annoying one. I really rated Grimaldo and fancied him to get a big move. So I actually have two of him as well. I really just fancied him to get the transfer, but obviously he got injured and he's been in and out of the squad since. He was only injured for a game, but he's a headache of mine. I hate those players who you can't bank on for a start. Yeah. I hate it.
I've got that's part of my problem is I've got a lot of wishy-washy players like that as well. That I think he'll play 10 to 20 games a season, and you think, right, okay, that's somebody that can contribute something. But then it's picking the fucking 10 to 20 games they get a season is half the fucking problem.
The killer, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, they're not going to play 40 games or whatever. You know that they're not first choice, so it's a heavily rotated squad, etc., etc. But Ferran Torres, for example, is my bugbear with that. Getting a wee bit of a pain in the arse with Sorloth and Cuisance, but I've done okay with managing them. But the ones like your Vlasic, Vanaken, Dorsch, some guys Onuachu, they're playing every game week, and they just go into teams you don't even think twice about it. They're the best cards to get enjoyment out of, I think. But cracking a rotation code of a manager is priceless in itself sometimes. But
yeah, I'm sitting here having a headache about De Ligt. Does anyone know if he's back? I'm looking up a report here, and apparently De Ligt could be back into the lineup. But
I'm pretty sure I seen him on the bench for the last match, or did he start? Or
was he?
Yeah, I think so.
Check that out.
I may be telling Porcupine John, so sorry for him. But,
I'm gonna give people listening just a quick heartbreaking story. We all have them. This week, my lineup for the Gameweek Centre. Will you hear this? Fucking hell! Challenger Europe. I had Bodart with a 70 point or 75 all in with the ball. I'll just tell you bonuses. 75, Abdullah Sek, 96.
Oof.
Diarra, 81. Onuachu coming in with a 68 after 31 minutes. And bloody Hans Vanaken, who I thought was back with a small bit of research, is still he had another game in the suspension, and he was my captain. And I'm sitting there with 320 points where they did not play. That could have been a 400 plus score back. $65th at the minute.
Sorry, I'm just messing about with screens, John. Sorry, so I might have missed that. Sorry.
No, trust me, I'm doing the same. I've been.
There we go. This looks okay.
The whole time.
This looks okay. I think I'm messing. Sorry, playing about this too much. There we go. I'll sit with that. So under 23s, have you got anything exciting going on there this week?
I probably have to skip it due to a lack of keepers. I might throw Strakosha or someone in. I'm still trying to set this bloody special weekly lineup. I didn't set it up before the stream. Probably should have in hindsight, but I'll let you know. Quinny, what's yours?
Oh, well, I've just realised I'm only going D3. Under 23s, I've went with Lafont in goals, Super Rare Hakimi, Wirtz, Super Rare Nemeka, and then I've went for Captain Diatta, but he's just transferred to Monaco, so he's definitely not playing a match this game week, which is just dawned on me.
Diatta's gone to Monaco.
Diatta's signed for Monaco today, yeah? Did you not know? 20 million.
I fucking missed it.
Oh, mate. Diatta to Monaco, 20 million.
Is his card plummeting because of that?
I hope not. I don't care, man. He's 20. He's going to play at Monaco. I don't care, man. He's the sort of guy. He'll score good every week, man. I'm well. His price is plummeting. I might buy another one. To be honest. But
that's the thing. I never know what to expect there. Is it a case of he's going to a more competitive league, his minutes might be reduced, he won't be the same player, and he's so dominant in Challenger? He's one of my go-tos in the Challenger. Like this could be a kick in the bollocks, or it could be the making of him and the extra scarcity. It's the balancing act, isn't it? Yeah,
well, the time bomb on him is when does he break into the team? It's not going to be this game week or the next game week. So that's the real, it's hard to judge as well. Because is Kovac still the manager of Monaco? Sure he is, isn't he? I don't think he's been sacked.
I don't actually know.
Anyway, it would make sense if it does. And Kovac is the guy, you'll remember, obviously failed pretty badly at Bayern, but before that, he was the guy that brought like Kostic to Frankfurt. He was the Frankfurt manager. I think they got to the cup final. I don't know if they won it or not. It was against Bayern in the final. I can't remember if they won, but he brought Kostic on at Frankfurt to be the PB machine, I know him as, and there was somebody else in that Frankfurt team on the right. What's his name? He went to the Premier League or something. I can't remember his name now. But anyway, so Diaz quite he's quite an energetic winger. When I look at his stats anyway, he seems to cover a lot of ground, and he's not just a goal scorer, which is why his SO5 score has been so good, because he does get involved in the match. So under a manager like that, even if he doesn't score or assist much, he's probably still going to hit those kind of scores he was getting at Bruges without the goals or assists, because he'll still be doing that kind of job, tracking back, tackles, connecting passes, all that kind of stuff. But I do need to sub him for this game week, or what, because he's not going to do fucking anything for me now.
Just built my champion team.
Let's hear it.
So I have Magnan and Nets, Danilo, Bentancur. I haven't done the research on Bentancur. I don't know if he's suspended or injured or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he's been playing. Amiri and Depay.
Amiri, nice. Depay, good taste, John.
I love him. I love him. Yeah. So look, I'm hopeful for that.
Has Bruno Guimaraes been playing recently? Oh, he came off the bench. I might opt for Guimaraes in this, by the way. It always surprises me that he's under 23. I know he is young, but doesn't look in his wee picture. Kang In played tonight. No, I don't know about that.
It's tough. Like, I wish I had more keepers. Keepers is my limiting factor, and I keep going and buying more outfielders. I just bought a couple of defenders from the Eredivise today. I'm an idiot. Like what am I playing at? I keep getting limited. Like, because Maximenko's been out, and he was kind of one of my other go-tos. He'll come back, I'm sure, obviously, but at the minute I'm stuck here now where I have to choose between basically Challenger or All-Star, I think, with my Bodart, and I'm like, don't really want to. I don't know.
That is a tough one. I would go. I always go All-Star. Where I've got, because All-Stars say if you're going to have a banger of a week and shoot 450 points, you want to get the most reward for that. Yeah. Because
decision made there.
Yeah, because if you're going to shoot a big score, you'll win any league. Even if you look at some of the scores, like I'm pretty sure, like if you win D2, you're shooting like 480. That's not mathematically impossible to do with a team of rares, but you're not very likely to do that against super rares and all the rest of it. You're needing them all to score 90s, which isn't going to happen. But
can anyone confirm for me that Vanaken's back this week? I'm 90% sure he is, but
I was chatting with
want to waste another lineup.
I think it was somebody else asked me this today, or it might have been even you, John, and I'm tripping. But
I think it was me.
Was it? I've went All-Star D3 with one super rare. I don't know if I might actually downgrade that team and move the immediate. If I got another D3, I could put. Because I've only got 3 super rares actually playing so far, I think, from the looks of it.
That the ad has fucked me rightly,
I've just kind of realised its impact on my actual game week, to be honest. That's a kick in the balls last minute.
Shafting me.
My Champion Europe D4 my Champion Europe D4, I've got Zielinski captain in it, alongside Kamada, Joe David, Mancini, who was my first private buy. He's been on amazing form recently. I don't know if you've got one or seen him. But Gianluca Mancini at Roma. Gianluca Mancini at Roma.
Oh, I have him, yeah. He got a red card in the cup, didn't he? But he'll be back.
Yeah, it's a cup. So it's all good. All good.
I think I stuck him in my special weekly there.
Oh, he's good. He's a solid card.
Yeah, he's brilliant. It was actually Hybe who put me onto him as well.
Oh, really? Hybe's got good taste. Hybe's got a good collection. I'm thinking.
Oh, who to go for here? This is killing me.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit of a pickle as well, because...
Do you know who I hate, by the way? and I have them both because when I first signed up, coming from the football index side of things, Lorenzo Pellegrini and Fabian Ruiz, neither of them are reliable in any way, shape, or form for minutes and or points. They're just there, and you look at them and think, "Ooh," and then like I can't pick them.
Yeah. Well, I won a Pellegrini, and I was kind of the same. He was on my favourites list, and I was never motivated to go and buy him, but I won him, and I thought, oh, cool, that's kind of off the list and whatever. And I played him a few times. I think he did me okay, but I missed the game week where he shot 100 or whatever. I thought he'd been rotated out or injured or something. And I ended up selling him for 0.11, maybe about New Year time. And I was quite glad to have him away because he is another headache for minutes, and you can only have so many of them in your gallery, I think, before you go criminally insane. You know,
it just breaks you.
You need some stability. You know, you've got to have some gambles in there because you need those ones that you're going to pick up on the cheap because they're a gamble, or it's a pet love. A player you just are you've got belief in, or you get previous encounters with, or whatever. So there's room for them, but if you've got too many of them, it destroys your brain.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm shafted for super rares this week, actually.
Diarra and Onuachu, this is what's fucked me right now. Onuachu coming off and me not knowing his injury status. I'm sure I'll find it out before tomorrow, which might make a rejig happen. And Diarra going to Monaco, that's ruined my kind of challenger forward slots. Like,
well, I've only got Ike Ugbo really for that spot. I've not got much money in the Belgian, and also I've not got any Dutch players really yet up front, or I've not got any up front. So I'm quite light. I think I've got Larson as a Russian attacker. I've obviously Diatta's left now, and then Ike Ugbo. That's it really. I'm quite light on challenger. The Mecha, of course.
I'm gonna go
super rare.
Sorry.
No. On you go.
I was just gonna say on the All-Star here, I've rejigged. The reason I'm hitting the All-Star now with a different team and using the premium kind of good one there in the challenger with my Bodart is because I have a common Albin Lafont that can fill in. So thanks to Jay Fraz for asking me.
Nice.
So I'll stick the common goalkeeper in the D4 All-Star. That's what I've been giving advice to people recently, the few that have asked me about signing up to SoRare. I'm sort of saying my advice, Quinny, is if you plan on investing money and you're not just going to try and win rookie leagues to win a couple of rares, and you do plan on investing money, it's key, I think, to have ideally under 23s, but if not, an Albin Lafont and a Bodart or whatever, just a challenger and a champion keeper, or if you want to play the Asian game or whatever, go there. But they're so handy because they are the barrier at the minute. I think you can really research and play around with other positions, but if you can't have a decent keeper, you're fucked. If you can't have a starting keeper, you're fucked, and they all cost a decent whack of cash in Europe. Yeah,
well, it's very sound advice, John. And I totally agree with it. Again, it's one of these things that I've said it before and stuff. There's a few purchases I've got in my gallery that I call bite the bullet purchases. When I've done them, I looked at the player and I thought, I will have to buy this guy at some point. It is unavoidable. I will get him at my earliest opportunity at around this kind of price, and then you do your best to work towards that. Sometimes things will go in your favor. You might win a tournament, get some free ETH, or you might get a card you can trade easily or whatever. But you have to, if you are going to be, if you want to be winning and really flying, you do need to get 1, 2, 3 goalkeepers that you can hang some level of regular performance on quite easily. Lafont's been quite frustrating. He's been in good form recently, but he's been frustrating. Maximenko's a monster. That Safanov as well at Krasnodar. Have you seen him?
No.
SoRare data.
I have seen him. Seen him actually. Sorry, I think you pointed him out to me last time we talked.
Safanov is mental, and he's under 23 as well. He's good. And Krasnodar are still in Europe, so you'll have midweek fixtures when they come back. That'll be exciting. But I'm also screwed from under 23 D3 because no Diatta really does scupper me because it's a great lineup otherwise. I don't know if I want to gamble on the Bruno Gomares because he just came back from COVID or something, but he came off the bench last game week. I wouldn't be surprised if he started, but it's a punt. Cuisance is a super rare, right, that I could put in here. Oh, actually, no, I said defender then. I need another defender. What I'm thinking, right, is I could put the Cuisance in and move Hakimi to my All-Star D3. And then I've got 2 super rares in either, but my defense replacement for Hakimi would be dog shit. So
here's a shout for anyone watching who is kind of new to the game or trying to get a I don't know, a couple of cheap players, or even if you just don't have them, who's been doing solids for me recently. And I'm gutted that I thought Vanaken was playing this week, because I mean it when I say this was the guy who would slot in for Vanaken on a challenger team, and I would have had a 430 pointer or something. Ryan Sanusi. I'm not saying this is an all-star pick. It's not. Beershot, yeah. If you look at his last scores, like, he didn't play in game week 134, but his last 3 scores outside that have been a 64, a 58, and an 80. And like, he has got a history of green and yellow scores. I'm not saying he's amazing, but I mean, this price bracket, what do you expect? You probably get someone in the DMs down to about 0.03, point even less. Do you know? He's been doing a solid for me, so I'm even debating sticking him in my all-star here. Because, as I said, of Lorenzo Pellegrini, Fabian Ruiz, none who I can trust. Renato Sanchez is another one of that kind of ilk. Can't trust the fucks.
I think, I was going to say, I think Renato's just about to come back, but I forgot that was last week, and then he's relapsed. But oh yeah, Sanusi is decent. I've seen this guy before. I think Ross got offered this guy's super rare in exchange for something. Oh, I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, Ross got offered.
I won him.
Oh, did you? Wow, nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, I won him. So that's the only reason I have him. Burnley are 1-up at Liverpool, apparently.
No way, really? Brilliant. I had a quarter of an ETH in my account, John, and I've been trying. See if you type in Andy Robertson.
Oh, is he in and around that? Is he?
No, he's right in amongst it, right? But I've been chatting to this guy. He'll be the cheapest Andy Robertson that's on the market now. I think the guy's name is Luca Magic. If you're watching, hi Luca. Good to see you.
I've dealt with him before.
And oh no, he's not on. Oh, I wonder if he sold it. I've been badgering him, mate, for weeks, just trying to get him down to about a quarter of a coin, and then ETH went back up to all-time high like 2 days ago or something. And I'm kind of bored looking for it now. I'll do it later if anyone cares. And then he came to me and he's like, "Oh, hey, I'll do a quarter coin for you now." And I was thinking, "Nah, mate, like you can't do that to me. Put me on ice, and then ETH goes up 200 quid, and you want to do the same deal. That's a bit naughty. You know what I mean? Like, if I'd done the deal, I wouldn't be phoning you back up and say, "Hey, mate, going to give me some money back." You know?
Exactly.
So I don't expect you. Anyway,
I had a cheeky fuck the other day who I said, "I'll give you X amount for what the hell?" I said, "I'll give you." It was the same sort of story, except it was the other way around. I can't forget. My head's about fucked here after all the announcements and streaming tonight. But basically,
it's been mental.
so I said to someone, "I'll give you Fabian Ruiz for whatever." Let's say it was 0.85, 0.9 or whatever. And then ETH dropped, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "Fuck off, mate." The lowest, like all the other ones in the market, I basically gave him like 0.05 off lowest in the market.
Nice. And
then I looked at them, and the next one in the market was like 0.12 or something. And I was like, "You think I'm still going to give you it for 0.8, not 8? Do you know what I mean?" He was like, He was like, "No, I gave you the offer 3 days ago. You said you got back to me. Things have changed."
Yeah.
There's some cheeky bastard there. Speaking of cheeky bastard, 20, can I run this one past you?
Let's hear it.
A guy called Leeds Sam 13 sent me a direct offer today, looking to nab a Vlasic off me.
Ooh.
Who, I mean, if we're looking, what's he going for now? He's actually dropped a bit with the Russian off season, etc. But probably a good time to buy.
Very good time to buy. There'll be a lot of managers that are on there now that haven't seen Vlasic, like in terms of what you can look at the graph, right, and say, "Oh, he scores quite well," whatever. But it's constant, you know. See, when you've got him on your phone, I've got a common Vlasic, which is I've told you the same about my common on Unacho. I follow them to see how they do still because I've used them and now and again. I have in the past. I'm not used those commons in ages, but Vlasic every week, goal, assist, 2 assists, 2 goals. You know, he's just an absolute little machine. I didn't realise until we were talking about Moros that he used to play for Everton. He was a guy who couldn't get off the bench.
Yeah, flopped, yeah. He didn't do well there at all. But he basically, he offered me, Vlasic now you're talking, I mean, lowest on the market is 0.345, 0.339. You know, he's worth more than that when he's playing. He really is. It's him and Vanaken and the boys are the boys, like in the Challenger and All-Star front. But where am I looking? This guy offered me, I can't even remember.
And Vlasic is under 23 as well.
Yeah, there you go. Like that's the other thing. He sent me a direct offer offering me a super rare. Now, it wasn't the most insulting offer I've got. And it's disappeared now. Sometimes that's weird. Sometimes when you reject it, they disappear out of the historic ones. Or is that only ones you send?
Yeah, so once you cancel it, it goes away. But once you've rejected, I think you'll still be able to see. No, bids you've had rejected, I'm sure, are still there, and bids you've accepted are still there.
Yeah, it's gone. It was some guy, some super rare, and I seen on the market there was one already, like at least one on the market because I just had a quick flick. It was there for like 0.19.
He's got two super rares. He's got two super rares. He's got Lusa of Nantes, and he's got Sporer of Sporting Lisbon.
It's your man, Sporting Lisbon.
Sporer, he's all right.
He's all right, but I mean, for a Vlasic, I just thought it was a bit cheeky.
It's a bit cheeky, yeah.
It is. So what I'm going to do is send him a direct offer back, looking for like 5 of his best players, and I'll say I'll give you the Vlasic for that. I'm actually going to do that right now. Am I salty? Absolutely. Should I know better? Yes.
Well, I'd kept that quarter coin for an Andy Robertson, and also see the guy that was trying to sent me some really good offers for my 1 of 100 Chris Richards. When he got the Andy Robertson, I just sent him a direct offer. Chris Richards, 1 of 100 for Andy Robertson. And I thought, this guy will take that, no problem. And he knocked it back. And then he started trying to get me to send him. He was being mega wide. He was wanting like 4 players off me that are 1 of 100 for like 2 of 100 Andy Robertson. It's like, nah, mate, chase on. Like,
yeah.
And then I got the 1 of 100 Miazga the other day. And I sent him a direct offer, Miazga straight swap for Robertson, just to see if he'd bite on it and send me some sort of return offer, because the guy's not got Discord or anything, and he just flat out rejected it, and he keeps putting the price up. So again, if you look at Andy Robertson, he'll probably be the most expensive one listed. It's just this guy just trying to wind me up. He's selling it. He just keeps putting the price up.
I might say to him, here, give me your Dorsch.
Oh mate, I sold my Dorsch, and I don't regret it, right? But I wish I put it off. Put it like that. Honestly, mate, felt man crush on that card. Loved it. I bought it for the World Cup. It cost me half a coin. And that's part of the reason I sold it, is because obviously a lot of coin prices have adjusted. So for a premium guy like that, I was trying to make sure I was still getting a lot of ETH out the other side as I could at the time, because I was making big purchases, as you'll see some of the stuff that's changed in my gallery. And honestly, as soon as I hit the accept button on the bid I made with the guy, I was like, oh, I know that makes sense money-wise, but my heart is broken. It's absolutely broken.
I'm saying, give me your Dorsch and a bow, and we'll give you a Vlasic, and he'll say no, and that's fine.
Yeah, that is fine.
Fuck you. There we go. I'm just like so afraid that I've sent him the wrong thing, and he just accepts it, and he gets my Vlasic for like a fucking.
Yeah, you need to be careful with those bids. You need to be careful with those bids
Double,
and those offers.
Triple, quadruple check, like.
But,
am I petty? Absolutely, Quinny.
Yeah, well, me too. Like I say, the guy that offered me all the stuff as well, I sent him back mad crazy offers. I tried to swap him. See, when I rejected his offers, like the Odegaard and the ETH and whatever else he was offering, I sent him a direct offer, 1 of 100 Chris Richards for 1 of 10 Tony Kroos, just to see. Just to see where the guy valued him, you know what I mean? And it was like, honestly, I didn't know emails could work that quick. It was just instant reject. Like, it's almost like the internet done it, by itself. Like, who are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'm really looking at the market now. The funny thing about the Eredivise, right? Oh, and this is kind of the other thing as well. Oh no, I think I said that. But with all these Eredivise players coming on, like it's another 18 starting goalkeepers, as we were saying, defenders, strikers, and all the rest of it, right? But the way they've done the auctions this time, anyway, it feels like is there's different kind of stages of them. So there was a bunch of 1 and 2s went out yesterday, and there's still 1s and 2s coming out today, and also that's a volume kind of thing. But you'll notice they'll probably come in little batches. So if you're scouting players and you find that they're in circulation now, you've seen maybe 4 or 5 cards come out. That will kind of stop probably, in my opinion, in probably about 2 or 3 weeks. And then they'll, because they're very good at controlling the velocity of these cards, right? So as much as we're worried about, there's going to be 100 cards of this guy and 100 cards, it's fucking practically February. There's not going to be 100 issues of any Eredivise player this season. It won't happen. 50 of them are kept for rewards, and that's all RNG if you win the place, if you get that card. And then they've got maximum of 50 to put out to the market. So between now and whenever they would release it, I don't see any player getting maxed out. I think a lot of them will get to like the 60s and maybe 70s. But I've got a card, right, that I got. His name's Paul Obi, right? It's a goalkeeper in Japan. And for no apparent reason, right? Oh, he's not came up on screen, sorry, it's all black. For no apparent reason to me, he's only got 4 cards. He's not transferred away or anything. but he's only got 4 cards, and I can't really tell the reason for it, right? There's a few other cards that are in this kind of situation as well. And this will again will open opportunities for other guys to grab. And this guy's like an under 23s goalkeeper. And when you look at his stats, he can play, does play, you know, and all the rest of it. And there will be other guys that will come out this situation as well. So I don't really worry about the saturation of. I don't worry about the saturation, number one, of additional options in terms of players, because again, good players will always be good players. Vlasic, Dorsch, All Black, you know, we can name them all. But the thing people kind of are really worried about, whether they realise it or not, is the fact there's going to be an extra, you know, however many thousands of cards on the marketplace for the next couple of months, or for the next 6 months until the new season starts, and we're all at it again with all the new cards. But they're not going to get through all these allocations for all these players. It just won't happen, you know. The J League came out in August, and you look at some of the higher numbered cards in the J League, and it is like 40s and 50s. You know, and that came out in November, and we're in, you know, it's like 6 months basically. You know, it's been out, or maybe October. Same with MLS. There's not that many guys that are pushing up the numbers 50s and 60s. So I'm not really worried about the actual content, the actual amount of stuff that's available in it either, because like I said earlier, they're very good at controlling the velocity of how many cards are dished out every day and the rotation that they all take. The kind of moral of the story initially was, if you see somebody now who is kind of in rotation, you know, if you can afford somebody, my advice would always be buy them, because I spent more than half of my Robertson budget on the Denzel Dumfries, and I get dragged into a punching fight in the auction, and I knew it at the time. But the lesson I've learned with auctions is that I always remember the ones I miss out on. I remember them more than, oh, I paid a wee bit too much for that guy. So, you know, I forget that quite quickly, but what I will remember is, fuck, I could have got that guy 2 weeks ago if I pressed the button one more time, and I'd have him now. I remember going through this bollocks, try to get him again. You know,
exactly. But it'd be 1 second. I need to drop a laptop charger out to my girlfriend.
Hang on a second, man.
It'll be 1 minute.
Guys, sorry, I've not been too active in the comments tonight. I've been kind of juggling screens and all the rest of it as well. I'm going to come back and try and see where we're all at. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys, and all the rest of it. Burnley, yeah, we kind of spoke about that. And J-Faz. J-Faz, were you after the Miazka as well? Oh, did Obi go out to a J? Oh, okay. So Paul Obi went out on loan to a J2 league team, but he was back and he played like the Champions League for Yokohama or whatever the cup was. They played. There was, what did I have last time? I think I've messed this up, so I put you away, John. There we go. That worked.
Probably for the best.
But the point being, there will be opportunities where a lot of these cards won't hit 100. I'll be surprised if a lot of them get past 70. And yeah, the main circulation for all of these guys, if you're thinking about, oh, they'll get up to that kind of number, is prizes, and that's only going to happen with an increase in, you know, division space, which there's a lot of talk of now. You know, I think having now, there's 2 game weeks this week, John, as you know, that we've got ETH prizes for minimum thresholds. You know, they're slowly opening the door. You know, did you listen? You know, Nick did the podcast with Hybe in that last week. It was amazing, and you can hear that. You know, this is beta. You know, this is beta. You know, this is not the finished article in terms of the depth and variance, and you know, on league selection, prizes available, and all the kind of variables within the actual game. Then that SoRare Mega thing that's came out as well. I don't really know too much about that yet. And also the SoRare data. Oh, the SoRare Data Cup, in the SD11. Have you get teams in that, John?
Oh, Quinn, you're some man. I didn't even build my bloody. I didn't build my. I'm in a cup in the Challenger tournament. You saved my bollocks there. Build my lineup. I'll build the 5-a-side first and see how we get on. Jeez. Right, what keeper do I go for? Will you help me build it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I've got Adan, Mike Magnan, or Arno Bodart.
And this is All-Star
against Charleroi. Sorry?
This is All-Star we're talking about.
It's the Challenger tournament lineup in the SoRare Data Cup.
Oh, I've got you.
Do you have to stick? You can enter anyone, can't you? It's just that I'm like a Challenger. Isn't that the thing?
Is it the cup? Oh, yeah. The name of your cup is just Challenger. So I'm not in the cup, but that's basically the League Cup, and the other one's called the FA Cup. That's basically what's happened.
Yeah, but I can enter anyone.
You can enter anyone, yeah. As far as I understand, yeah. It's just the name of it.
So Adan is against Boavista.
Easy.
Magnan is against Ryan.
Hard.
And Bodart is against Charleroi.
dodgy.
I think I'm going to go for a Dan, but I don't know. Bodart's had 2 solid scores in the bounce.
But, you know, Charleroi just get beat off Anderlecht. They're on a kind of downward curve now, form-wise. So, you know, it depends on what you think. Yeah, it depends. It really depends on what you think of Standard Liège, really, if you think they've got a good result in them. Because Charleroi...
They won like 4-0, didn't they?
Did they, yeah.
I think they won their last game convincingly. Anyone in the comments as well, get active, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, help me win against you, potentially.
Help me beat you.
Then I'm probably going to have to pick Danilo against Bologna, or the only other option. There's Mancini's there.
Mancini's solid as they come.
Koulibaly's back.
Oh, is he?
Koulibaly is, well, he scored a 79 in his last game, apparently, and they've got Verona.
Lovely.
I've stopped looking at him because he's been out for a while. Before sticking him into one of my lineups that I missed there. Yeah, he's three games he's played there in the bounce.
For the SD11, I've got Mancini in my defence. I fancy him, obviously, because I've done this before coming on air. But I went Hakimi, Hendry, and Mancini, so they're my 3 favourite defenders this game week, and then I've got Mbemba on the bench.
I'm thinking I might go Koulibaly, and I might even stick Danilo in as my 5th. But
I've been saying that Napoli have got an amazing set of fixtures at the moment. So if you've got Napoli players that will play, I would pick them as well. I think they're good shouts.
I might pick Zielinski there. In midfield, he won't compete with him. Maybe it's Vanaken, but he's back off. God knows what, he's playing Genk. So
I'd pick Vanaken.
He's always solid.
It's a big game, and he's rested.
Would you pick Vanaken?
I'd pick him, yeah.
All right, I'm going Vanaken. Better start. I need to use it. He's new and shiny.
Exactly.
And then forward, I think it has to be Depay against St. Etienne. I have got Lozano. I have got Dries Mertens, but again, Mertens is one of these fuckers you never know if he's going to play.
Lozano's in good form. Likely to play.
Lozano is in good form,
I would say, as a non-holder.
Lozano or Depay?
Depay.
Depay. Has to be.
Depay cannot be picked.
I could even
cannot not be picked.
I could go Lozano and Depay if I could go. It's Lozano or Danilo then is my last.
Danilo's going to guarantee you 60 when he wakes up in the morning. You know,
that's what he does, baby.
That's just what he does. He wakes up and gets 60. You know what I mean?
We'll do that, right? Captain Depay or Vanaken?
Captain Depay in my life.
You love him, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't have a Vanaken. But Depay for me, yes, plays every game. He's captain every game for me.
Lovely. I just got to follow him. Quinny, we trust. Hopefully, he can get me through.
Well, see if I told you Depay was going to score a hat trick against St. Etienne, would you call me mad?
No, I wouldn't.
2 free kicks and a penalty.
Yeah, and I have to build the 11 aside.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this boring the tits off you? Or are you
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm actually just looking at my 11 aside now. I think I'm going to keep Sane on the bench. I was just thinking about. I went 3-5-2. I've got a lot of midfielders in my gallery. It's the biggest position I'm on now. So every game week I've went 3-5-2. When I first seen this thing first came out, John, I thought it was going to be like a footstock tournament, almost like you set the team once and then you leave it.
I thought that too.
So I was really surprised when people were like, "Oh, can't wait for this game week so I can put him in instead of him." And I was like, "What? You can change it?" Like,
yeah.
But I didn't build it for the first game week. I built it for the fucking month. So I might
go 5-3-2, Quinny.
I
have a lot of solid defenders.
I think there's some guys high up the table that have a big defense. There's some guys that are high up the table I've seen that are like 5-4-1 or 4-5-1. Just go with one striker and just try and get all the massive base scores.
I'm gonna go Koulibaly in there, Danilo in there.
If you want to do a share screen, I can give that a try.
Can I? Let me see. Or can I open you up? There you are. Host disabled. You need to go into your option and enable multiple participants or something.
Right. Okay. You say that or something like you don't know.
I don't, or something. I think there might be I don't have the option here, so I actually can't really remember. But I think you have an option by share screen to allow guests or something.
By share screen, you say. Choose video background, select camera, participants. Oh, share screen, yeah, sorry. My Zoom novice. Multiple, yeah, there we go, boom. That looks like it. Done.
Yep, done. You can see that. I don't know if people can see that.
It went black since you changed it from the camera's back. It's got you now.
Maybe there's like a blocker or something that you can't share other people's screens in case you were doing it against their knowledge or some.
Maybe
stuff. I don't know.
Human rights, what they all about.
I might go for my. So I've got Danilo, Koulibaly, and Mancini who are all solid.
Yeah.
Not sure if the Lict's back. He might be, but that's the beauty of having a sub.
Yeah. I wouldn't take gambles.
I'm gonna stick. See, I'm actually maybe 5 defenders is a bad idea. I have to go Jacob Rasmussen.
I think if you've got firepower, like it depends on your striker options. I think that's where you start your decision making for your formation. Is how many strikers I have that I really want to have in this, because I've only got 3 at the moment because Diatta's not playing. So I went 3-4-3 last game week, and then this game week I'm going to go 3-5-2, and I'm going to sub Sane because I didn't have a striker sub that I would want to have. If I mean, so I'm not going to pick a shitty sub that I don't want. I'll just get another midfielder in and blah blah blah. So I'd start with your strikers. How many strikers do you have realistically that you would want in that team? Yeah.
Don't know what Onuachu's story is. Depay is in. Diatta is out.
Yeah.
Lozano is in.
Yeah.
Oh geez, I'm scarce here actually looking at it. Dries Mertens, go fuck yourself. Until you're getting solid game time. I want to sell him actually. If anyone wants to buy, reach out. Don't be a dick though. Like give me a solid offer. Kelly and Hazard I've got. Tecatito, Jesus Manuel Corona. Might throw him in. He's good for minutes. 3 green scores on the bounce. SC France.
Yeah.
He can go in. But I mean that's 3, so I'm gonna have to have 2 up top. Which means I'm either going 5-3-2 or 3-5-2.
And then you know yourself.
4-4-2.
Oh yeah. 4-4-2 could be decent as well.
Might just go 4-4-2 here actually.
I think you definitely start up top because if you looked at it and you went, "Fuck, I've got 5 strikers. I'm going to try and fit in this team somehow," But you looked at it and there's 2 or 3 ones like definitely like to look at him.
Yeah, I think midfield's where I'm strongest to be honest with you.
It's so hard not to stop buying midfielders. Midfielders are just
Kerr, Zielinski. They just keep coming.
I've went Zielinski, Wirtz, Goretzka, SoRare, and Amiri.
Lovely. Wirtz is a cracking wee player, isn't he?
I love him, man. Best reward. No, I've got a few rewards I like, but Wirtz is definitely one of my favourites. I've
saved the lineup. Do you want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Starting lineup. I won't give you the subs. So Bodart.
Yep.
Koulibaly, Danilo, Mancini, and Abdoulaye Seck.
Nice.
Hans Vanaken captain.
Lovely.
Amiri, Bentancur, Zielinski.
Lovely.
And then Depay and Lozano.
Very similar to mine.
That's solid.
Yeah, that's solid. I've got Captain Depay as well. Mine. Up front in the Mecca. But Keylor Navas and goals. Keylor Navas is another card I thankfully won as a beast of a reward.
Amazing.
He's been in amazing form. It's been great. But you can't bank on winning some of those goalkeepers. Talking about the price
That's
of them.
That's a great one to win.
Yeah. I was buzzing at the time, but I was also I've hit podium like 3 or 4 times, right? And every time I'm thinking about the night before and I'm looking at the potential wins. And I think I've had it in the chat that we're in and stuff. And I'm like, man, I could be getting Mbappe tomorrow. But then I got a Joe David one time and it's just a pure bummer. But the hype is brilliant. But I got
some cracking results.
Yeah. But when
you've had sorry.
No, it's all right. Always glad to get some praise. But when I got the Navas, my instant reaction was like, yes. But seeing I got the Joe David, I think I won. Under 23 D4 or D3 or something, and my prize was a Joe David and a bunch of ETH. And I was like, yeah, the ETH is cool. And yeah, I'm kind of happy I got Joe David because he's one of those guys, isn't he? But he's not that. I don't know. He's not really done anything for me. He's a wee bit of a.
Who the fuck is Joe David?
Jonathan David. Jonathan David, sorry.
I was like, who the fuck is Joe David?
Sorry. It's just
I know what you mean. Like, he's one of those that's like, great potential. Just, I don't know. He's a 25 or he's a 75. Like,
yeah, exactly. So hot and cold. What minutes he'll get? Will Burak Yilmaz start up front instead of him? But
look, Zaraw's selling his unique there for 23 grand if you fancy it.
Joe David, is he?
Zaraw's he's also
selling
all the David. But
he was a high value card until he went to Lille because everybody thought he was going to leave Belgium and go to like a non-licensed club and really set the world alight. And then when he went to Lille, who were already on the platform, it was kind of like, I've kind of reversed, like, oh, fuck, like there's going to be more cards of him. And people were really banking on the scarcity kicking up a gear for him. But I say the Navas, when that came out, I just knew right away. I was like, that's a massive pull. I'm so happy with that. That was for winning All-Star D3. I get him, and I got an SR Matarita, who's a defender in MLS, along with like 0.65 ETH or something. It's a fucking monster of a prize, you know. I was absolutely buzzing.
Absolutely. Do you know what I had today, which was lovely?
Let's hear it.
I had the wee shaking gift in the top of the.
Oh yeah, did you get that?
Bar. I haven't had that in I don't know how long. Looked into it, and I had 3 unclaimed ETH prizes.
Oh, brilliant!
Of a combined total of 0.07.
Fantastic.
So I got like 70 quid.
Lovely. I didn't have one of them. I'm on the fucking claim everything. But I did notice today after that announcement, I was scrolling back through my gallery for some reason today, and I have been given a refer a friend bonus. Now, as you know, John, being an affiliate, we don't get refer a friends unless. Well,
shut the fuck up, Quinny.
I got a refer.
Don't tell them.
I got a refer. Oh, I don't get a free card for everyone who signs up.
Yeah.
But I was looking back through, and where the fuck is he? Oh, he's on page 3, I think. This only appeared today, and anyone who's on my channel will know I have never had an Eric Hurtado. And it says here I've had him for 2 months, and I know I've not. You know, he's only just appeared pure randomly today.
Yeah.
And then I seen the announcement, and I was like, oh, it's a refer a friend bonus. I'm like, how the fuck? I don't think I've actually sent a refer a friend code to anybody. You see, my mates, yours will be the same, John, probably, but see, whenever I try and talk to my mates about Football Index, Foot Stocks, SoRare, fucking anything, they're just like, Quinny, fuck off. Like, because you just go down like, mate, honestly, it's fucking it's this and it's that and all the rest of it. So I know I've not referred any of my personal friends or whatever, and it's a weird one. So I've got an Eric Hurtado. If you don't know Eric Hurtado, he's not really that good a player, but he scored an absolute world of a goal. If you've seen it, it went viral. It was an absolute belter. But I don't know why I've got that card, but hey ho, I've got that. But it's good to hear you had some ETH sitting. So whereabouts was it? It said it was in the navigation bar. So see, as I'm looking at the website, is that the black bar at the top? You seen the wee bouncing price symbol?
Yeah, it was just there. I went in this morning to have a look at some. I knew I had to get I was going to target a defender because I'm weak on challenger defenders anyway. And I said, look, I may as well get one so we get into that special weekly. And it was doing my research, went over to SoRare to put a bid on someone, and there was just this little gift box. Am I loud enough, even though I'm lying back in my chair?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate.
Oh, good. It was it was just this little gift box shaking with a red 3 on it, and I opened it and there was 3 little rewards. I thought that it had I thought it was like broken or it was glitched because I opened one and it stayed there, and I was like, imagine I could just spam open this after eat and say nothing to the lads. It's so rare.
That'd have been sneaky, man.
Yeah.
There's been a few, I don't know if you've been here, but there's been a few times where people have kind of won out of a glitch in the sense that sometimes when auctions have happened, like the systems maybe went down or there's been a wee bug or whatever. So if, you know, you maybe put an early offer in just so you can track it in your My Auctions tab. Some guys have ended up with those kicking out as being winning bids because like there was like some power hours that just, the system just crashed. There was just so much activity on them. That was ages ago and the systems are obviously much better now, but some people, they came out with some cracking things. So we glitches, like every game has a glitch, and if you're able to cash in on one, John, I don't think anyone would have held that against you if you just smashing that button.
I'd have been telling no one, Quinny.
I know,
on a stream.
It's been the best kept secret in Ireland.
That's it, yeah. But,
Magic.
Yeah, no, I'm loving the platform at the minute, Quinny. It's great fun. There's some buzz. Like, oh, Lead Sam rejected my offer. Wonder if he'll counter.
No, did he? Oh, 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Oh, Quinny's on daddy watch. God love him. Am I carrying the show? I don't know if he's going to even see me. Is this my first SoRare stream and it's not even on my channel?
Kids after a wee bit of juice. I'll go get them in. But it's back at 10, John. Listen, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll hang about for another minute or two just because we're going to chat some nice stuff there and then I'll dive off and get the juice and head off to bed. But it's the thing about it is, right, is for me, it's everything I've ever wanted really out of any digital football experience I've had, really, you know, whether it be Football Manager back in the day, fucking FIFA, Footstock, you know, all the things, you know, all the things, betting, you know, everything, you know, be able to track a player, get rewarded for finding them early, holding on to them, you know, using knowledge. That's the fun.
I think the real beauty for me recently is like Footstock, which I love as a platform for the exact same reasons as SoRare. It's the fantasy, it's the enhancement of my football experience. You know, to be able to watch more games and more interest. That's why I love Footstock. But what SoRare does is whenever the contest credit runs out, or whenever you can't be fucked depositing anymore, or if I don't know, if you're not as active enough or you haven't won in a while and there's a dry spell and you're having to deposit more to enter tournaments, it's the free roll aspect of SoRare that I'm really enjoying, because I know that every few days I get the buzz of setting my wee team up. And, you know, now I've bought the card, I'm in, that's it. Now I can play the tournaments, and I really like that. And obviously there's negatives and positives to both sides. You know, maybe prizes can be bigger in one place than the other potentially. But not to even make this a comparing match, but it's something that I've just particularly enjoyed from SoRare that I find different than the other platforms, you know.
It's great, and you know, but the first thing that got me on the platform is, you know, chatting to Hybe and a few other bits and pieces. But when I seen that there was, we were kind of chatting about it earlier on when we were going through the teams and whatever, but having like that global aspect to it is, for me, that was just like, finally somebody's doing something like this. Like, the world's been crying out for something where you can just have every fucking football player in our Royal Rumble fantasy football, you know?
Royal Rumble,
yeah, I mean, just everyone in the world, you know what I mean? Just go for it. Pick the best team you can, and whoever scores the most goals and keep the best clean sheet and all the rest of it, may they win, no matter where they are in the world. Yeah, I mean, so it's good for that perspective. The collective stuff as well, I do like that. And obviously you do the cards and that kind of stuff. You see those cards you do, I'm probably going to buy like a few of them. I'm not going to buy packs or boxes, but I'm probably going to like buy some individuals, just because I do collect shit, as you know, anyway, personally. And I like the idea of tangibles as well as non-fungibles.
There's a lot to it. I probably already recommended it to you. The guys at Soccer Cards United put me on the right track, but getting the boxes is amazing if you get the right boxes, and if you get them on release at retail, you'll get them very cheap, because automatically on resale they're probably 5 times the price.
Really?
But buying singles and all is good if you have an eye for a player and you fancy, like, you can probably buy Doku rookies or whatever now for like 20 quid.
Yeah.
If you fancy, I'm just thinking of SoRare favorites, like if you fancy him, or Wirtz, he's went up in price a lot, but there is a lot to it, because you could end up buying a bunch of shite. But I really enjoy it, because I have obviously loads of them that I try and get them at retail as much as possible, and then buy sort of cheap rookies when I can. But it's different. But I like that aspect of SoRare, and I think I could really see it taking off if they market correctly to the collector base and make this the new age of collecting.
Yeah,
it really boom. Like,
a big part of it for me then as well is they don't do any advertising at all. They do absolutely nothing. It's just social media. That is it. There's nothing. All they do is rely on like the press releases from the clubs that they sign, and then like, you know, tagging PK and Sherland stuff, and then videos and podcasts that come out.
Influencers. I've seen like FIFA people talking.
Yeah, they've just came on in the last like week or two, you know. But in general, they don't have like advertising of any description that I've came across or know about or whatever. They don't, like, you know. So it's very, as I say, it's very much still infant stages, and you know that as well. So when you look at SoRare data and you look at the actual numbers, how many people have actually got more than 10 cards and that kind of thing. There's not massive numbers of people there. And you think about that in the real world context for how vibrant and how active the marketplace is and how amazing all the prizes are in relation to that. I think it's amazing. In terms of the collector side of things, I've got this card, which I kind of forgot I had for a little bit of a time, but I've got a 1 of 100 Lucas Zelarayan from last year when the MLS came out. And then last year, Columbus went on, obviously won MLS Cup, and Zelarayan got Newcomer of the Year, Player of the Year, all that kind of stuff. So having the 1 of 100 from him, Columbus Crew are not going to win a lot of MLS Cups over the next, like, let's say 10, 20 years. You know, they'll win maybe 1 or 2 more, something like that. They're not like a Galaxy or a Toronto or a Seattle. We expect them to win all this stuff. But anyway, point being, having the 1 of 100 of him for 50 quid, that's like something that I can easily sit in the back of my gallery and forget about. You know, like, there's no need to sell that really for anything less than a tidy sum, you know.
That's something I struggle with, Quinny. I know you need to go and get juice, but something I struggle with on the platform is the balance between buying young potential superstars and holding them when it might cost you 0.1 or something, or putting all your beans into utility and trying to have competitive lineups to win more, compound, and keep growing. But there's a lot to be said for maybe having a few turkeys in the back pocket. Not necessarily him. He's probably overinflated because of biases from other platforms, etc. But or just biases in general. But I mean, there are some cracking youth players around Europe, around the world, who are undervalued based on what they go on to do. It's about finding the ones that will go on to do it, and that makes them undervalued. You know what I'm trying to say there? I find it hard to strike that balance between an 18-year-old goalkeeper who will be at 23 years old the best goalkeeper in the world, or just not bothering. But then I suppose by that time all the goalkeepers will be on, and maybe there won't be such a gap. Fuck Quinny, there's so much time.
Well, in terms of the goalkeeper one, right? See, if I'm buying a goalkeeper that is not going to play for any foreseeable time, it needs to be a price that I'm happy to accept burning. You know, and then the worst.
I have Nubel. Like, I have 2 Nubels.
I've got 1, so cheers for making me feel insignificant, John.
I've actually got 2 of everyone. I always just get carried away. But
give me a syndrome here. Get 2 Nubels and everything.
But with a Nubel, it's like, fuck. You know, he's going to be potentially the Bayern Munich goalkeeper for years.
Yeah, I think Nubels are really safe buy, but I'm thinking about guys. I'm looking at my goalkeepers, right? I've got like, where the fuck is he? His name's Schubert. I've got Schubert, right? And I paid 33 quid for him. When I bought Schubert, I said, I am prepared to accept that I am never going to get a penny back for this guy, but he will forever be a training goalkeeper and will help me XP players in the background for whatever purpose I see fit, you know. And then if he doesn't go on to play for somebody, then brilliant. And if he doesn't, then it's exactly what I expected to happen, you know.
Yeah.
But then there'll be some guys like, you know, like your Nubels, and I've probably got another one somewhere. Now, in Trubin, you know, Trubin's probably kind of the same, even though he plays, but Shakhtar aren't SO5 for their domestic league. But there's guys like that I'll buy and I'll think, right, well, I should get utility out of them at some point. And you know, the Trubin I got for much less than the Schubert, in fact, but the Nubel I probably paid more for, just because again, Nubel is a name people recognise. I paid more than. No, I didn't actually. I got him. I actually paid too much for that Schubert, I think. Oh, do you know what it was? It looked like at the time, because Ralph Farman was at Norwich on loan last season, wasn't he? And Schalke were having a horrid time, and I thought he was going to get the jersey for a few game weeks, and he didn't. So that's what I overpaid on him on a hunch. But point being, and even Joe Bendick, this random MLS guy as well, £23. Again, I thought he might have got a game week out. I did get 1 game week out of him because of an injury. And then I just had to accept it. That money was going to be gone. I'll be back in a second, right?
I'm hosting this show. So Quinny's probably been very conservative about it. Nice. Make sure you like his video because it'll help him search better and do better. So yeah, go on like Quinny's video. Hi. Some of you might know me from other places, but SoRare, yeah, loving it. Been on a few months. It's mad. The gallery's taking shape. I picked up 2 Eredivise defenders today after a wee bit of research. Shout out to SoRare Data, who are absolutely insane. I see something going on in the comments there, but I've just turned off my phone for the comments because I thought we were dropping off, so I can't see anymore. But fair play to the guys at SoRare Data with these other little tournaments going on, the 5-a-side and the 11-a-side. It's great fun. I'm going to whip up the comments here, see which is are at. There we go. So, Jay Fraz is trying to find something.
John, you're a hero, thanks, mate. The kids have
their just... chat shite and kind of panic.
No, that's cool, man.
Jay Fraz is looking for something anyway. I don't know if you can help him, but
what's he after?
You need to go and get juice or bounce, Quinny. I probably should go too, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not far away from going. I'll probably try and help my man Jay Fraz here and then bounce off. So what's he after? Could well be. Where can I find that SO5 drop down? What was it for, Jay Fraz? What screen was it? That's what I want to know. John, thanks a lot for joining us, mate. It means a lot. I wasn't expecting to be on quite this long myself. The chat's fun. The chat's fun. Sorry, man. Can talk a bit shit all day. But no, thanks a lot for joining us. And John, hopefully we'll see you again soon. Enjoy our game week this week. Hopefully one of us can bag the Robin since we're going for it. Balls in. And guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you